Hello everyone, welcome to my review video of the recently concluded Paris Olympics with respect to the Indian campaign. As an avid sports fan who has been keenly following Indian sports and sports person, especially over the last decade or so, it is my pleasure to share my honest opinion and review regarding the recently concluded Indian campaign. First of all, I would like to make one thing clear that it is not that straightforward and it contains multiple layers to it. And let's try to understand together as fans that what are the stuff we need to look at when we are looking at the performance of our athletes for this Olympics. First, how did India fare? We had 117 athletes over multiple sports and disciplines, and we only managed to win 6 medals, 1 silver and 5 bronze. Probably, if Vinesh Phogat case, the CAS verdict is getting delayed, the next date they have given is on 16th of August. If that comes in our favor, which is 50-50 right now, then we will have 2 silvers and 7 medals overall with no gold. And most of our athletes, because I know them very well, I have been following and tracking their performances, did not really perform up to their level or expectation. So, in one word, our Olympic campaign was disappointing for sure. Now, let's have a deep dive into it. And before that, who won the medals? A lot of congratulations and kudos to our medalist Manu Bhaker, the talented Manu Bhaker, finally breaking the jinx and winning the Olympic medal as well. Not only one, but two bronze medals. One with Sarabjot in the mixed team event of the 10-meter air pistol and one in the individual. Another medal bronze came from shooting where Swapnil got the bronze medal in the 50-meter rifle 3 prone positions. And then Indian men's hockey team went back-to-back medals. That's amazing news for Hockey India and Indian hockey in general. And they won the bronze medal. They missed out by a whisker. They missed Amit Rohidas a lot in the semi-finals against Germany, but they fought really well. It could have been easily been silver or gold as well. But anyway, it's been an amazing farewell to our wall, PR Srijays. And we will talk about individual sports a little bit in detail later. Wrestling managed to win another medal, hopefully 2 if Vinesh Phogat's case goes to our favor. But Aman Sehrawat, youngest ever Indian Olympic medallion, kudos to him. He won the bronze medal. And then Neeraj Chopra won the silver this time, our golden boy, champion as always. Any competition he takes part, he brings home at least gold or silver. So what to say about him? A special note to Arshad Nadeem from Pakistan, given his history and upbringing and lack of facilities, it was so amazing that he beat the Olympic record and won the javelin gold this time around. So 6 medals or 7, let's see how it pans out. 1 or 2 silver and 5 bronze. Disappointing, as I mentioned, is the right word to describe this campaign. And why do I say so? Let's look at the one layer of it, which is that why. Number one is all these athletes in this campaign, many of them, not all, were they performing at their peak or at least on an average? The answer is no. Many of them performed well below par. Case in point, Chirag Shetty and Satwik Sairaj Rankireddy. They were the world number 1 men's doubles pair in badminton. They won the Asian Games gold comprehensively, which is just like an Olympic gold. Most of the top teams are Asians, even the medalists this time, you can see. Not only that, they won so many Super Series. They were one of the favorites going into the tournament, but they underperformed in the quarterfinals. So many unforced errors. And this is the story throughout. If you pan out in across disciplines in sports, our archery team, they recently concluded Shanghai World Cup. They won the gold medals, even beating Korea in one of the games. But here they failed to bag. They performed really well. I made even a video about their the starting qualifying campaign, but then when it mattered the most, they choked. So we can have a look at each sports individually, but overall, the reason it is disappointing is, did our athletes perform to their best on an average? The answer is no. They did not peak. In fact, they well underperformed. What could be the reason? I have 3-pronged reasons for the same, which I feel is the case. Number one is the handling the pressure. I think the same athletes who are winning as you I mean, as you know, that even in shooting, for example, we did win 3 medals, all 3 bronze, but I would still say we underperformed. Look at the last 3, 4 World Cups or everywhere. Indians have been always winning a lot of gold medals at par with China and many other countries. And not only that, so many world records, so many class shooters. But when it comes to Olympics, they are not being able to handle the pressure. A lot of fourth positions, not only in shooting, but many other sports across disciplines. So whenever it mattered the most, Ankita Bhagat's 7 arrow shoot in the bronze medal match in the mixed archery event comes to mind. So the clutch moments, the pressure moments, Indian athletes are struggling to handle the nerves in general. Of course, there is always a distribution. Some will handle it better, some will not. But it is a trend across disciplines that there have been sixth, fourth place finishes, so many near medal quarterfinal losses in boxing. So it is quite evident that handling the pressure, handling the tough or key moments is something where Indian sportsperson is lacking, because the same sports people, the same sportspersons are winning a lot of medals, or winning the championships when it comes to world championships and all other world events. But when it is Olympics, once in 4 years, all the eyeballs are on them. They take too much pressure. So I guess one of the solution for this could be, as Prakash Padukone also mentioned in his interview, I totally agree with him, sports psychologists and need to develop this skill and put a lot of focus on hiring the top level sports psychologists for the same. Number 2, I would also say Murphy's Law. Now, this might be a bit controversial, but it is true if you look at it. Everything that could go wrong went wrong for India. Manu Bhaker missing that, she was in the top 2 and just by a whisker missing another medal, could have been gold or silver, and she could finished 4th in the 25-meter pistol rapid fire event. Then Ankita Bhagat and Dheeraj, Ankita just shot some 7s and 8s suddenly in the bronze medal match. Of course, handling the pressure is one part, but there is a lot of things which went wrong for India. Nisha Dahia in the wrestling, in her quarterfinal, she just 20 seconds remaining, she was leading 8-2 if I'm not wrong, and then she dislocated her shoulder at the worst possible moment. She was almost about to beat one of the medalists from the previous Olympics from North Korea and reach further rounds and in contention for a medal. Same with Vinesh Phogat. I mean, I don't need to, there are lots of information regarding that on internet, and I guess most of you watching this video would know those. 0.1 kg more, and it's very normal for wrestlers to gain weight over the day and then they reduce it. Even Aman Shairawat did that, but for Vinesh Phogat it was difficult because it's not a natural weight category most likely, and still just 100 grams was the difference for her disqualification, which is unfair in my opinion completely. She definitely deserved the silver, or she actually deserved a little more time to reduce. 15 minutes is ridiculous. The finals were in the evening. So there is a lot of things which the wrestling bodies and IOC or International Olympic Committee should look at regarding these wrestling rules, which are, it doesn't make any sense, many of these. And she definitely deserves at least a silver. And she was robbed of gold, in my opinion. She deserved it. She beat the almost unbeatable, the Japanese wrestler who had 82-0 international record, Yui Sasaki. That was one of the biggest upsets or biggest moments in this Olympics, when she beat Yui Sasaki in the first round. Vinesh Phogat is our champion, and she will remain champion despite the CS verdict. Anyway, coming back to the point. 1, as I mentioned, the sports psychology. Number 2, as I mentioned, the Murphy's Law. Everything that could go wrong went wrong for India. Lakshya Sen in badminton played exceptionally well. In the semi-final, he was just a little bit of luck here and there. He was leading 2017. He was leading 8-0 against Victor Axelsen. Even in his bronze medal match, he just couldn't handle the nerve, and also there was no luck. That rub of the green didn't go his way, but exceptional performance by him as well. And so many other cases. Nikat Zareen, our world champion boxer, she met the number 1 seed because the conflict between International Boxing Association, they didn't get seeding because the Olympic Committee did not recognize the international boxing. They need to sort these out, and kind of all these negative things affected, and she had to face the best, who eventually went on to win the gold in the pre-quarters, and she lost it by a barest of margin. Boxing is another case where lots of dubious decisions. Nishant Dev, he clearly won his quarterfinal bout. He would have secured a medal because in boxing there are 2 bronze medals. Once you reach the semi-final, your bronze is assured. But that was also robbed off from him. The Mexican boxer was clearly favored. So in boxing, the judging is quite subjective and needs to be looked at. Probably in LA Olympics, boxing will be removed. And I think it's a good decision because either you make it more transparent or just remove it. There is no need. So anyway, Nikat Jareen and Lovlina Borgohain could have easily won medals, but they've kind of got the bad luck of the draw and fought with the eventual champions in the beginning stages. So all the things, most Nisha Daya dislocating her shoulder, Vinesh Fogart disqualification, and like all these things just points that whatever could go wrong for India went wrong this time. So Murphy's Law. And number 3 is the mindset. This mindset is something, again, I might say something which is a bit controversial, but I think our mindset needs to change. Right now, at least given the strength or an ability of our current athletes only, the 117 who represented, and most of them actually across 6 or 7 disciplines, they had the ability to win at least 15 to 20 medals and at least 2 to 5 gold medals, but they underperformed. Now this, why I say mindset, winning a medal, of course, must be celebrated. We should congratulate, we should encourage our champions. But at the same time, Olympic medal is hyped up too much and it creates pressure also. And not only that, the mindset itself kind of runs across probably our athletes that, oh, winning a medal is, Olympic medal is such a huge thing, and even a bronze medal is celebrated. Prime Minister is calling. I think there should be a balance. There should be an optimized way of handling this. We are, maybe 20 years back, India were not a sporting nation like we are currently. So we should not always remain or stuck in that era that we are just happy with some medals in Olympics and, celebrating the bronze too much, over the moon. So that mindset has to change. We should definitely, there has to be an accountability all across, not only even our athletes, the top athletes, they're getting all the facilities, not only them, the government, the federation, all this, Target Olympic Podium and everyone who is involved directly or indirectly, there should be an accountability. And all these top athletes deserve, of course they do, but they underperformed and there should be accountability for that. And they have the ability, even with the current team, current setup, should have won much more and should have done much better. So that mindset of celebrating mediocrity, dare I say, has to change, and it has to change all across, and there should be more accountability all across as well. So these are the 3 components to the first layer, as I mentioned. And then there is another layer, which is the deeper layers. As I mentioned, given the ability and the class of the players we had, we still expected there should have been at least 15 to 20 medals, few gold medals. India should have finished in top 15, 20, ideally, but they didn't. They just won 6 or 7, no gold medal. That's definitely disappointing. But in the long run, if we were to compete with US or China, for that long-term investments, long-term focus is needed. And that also has to start from the grassroots level, school level. There has to be identification of talent, special schools if needed, the coaches for each district. We have so many states in India, and Orissa government is a great example, like they adopted hockey, helped in the revival of hockey. Each state could pick up one sports or, like help in identifying talents in certain specific sports. Similarly, the federations does not need to be run by corrupt politicians or, like weird. I can't even imagine what happened with the wrestling federation, Brij Bhushan Singh and all those corrupt politicians and, like sexual offenders. I mean, how come they are running, and wrestlers had to protest and all that. So all that is so bad. Wrestling should have been growing manifold. We should have been at par with Japan and Russia and all of Uzbekistan currently. But it's been marred by this dirty politics. That has to stop. The federation has to be led and controlled by ex or previous sports person. Case in point, Hockey India. Dilip Tirkey is now president. That's amazing. Hockey has been reviving. Peter Fulton as a coach was hired in, and that was an amazing decision. So not only like not only like investment and grassroots development, and that will take time. Of course, the Khelo India is a great campaign, but that's not enough. There has to be much more, and this excuse of not having enough money is completely wrong. As a country, we are spending more than US when it comes to election, and then we should be, I mean, if we are 1/8 of GDP. And not only that, even given our country's economic status, we must be investing wisely, properly, in a much more optimized way, and create that infrastructure and system. And there has to be, and also as fans, we have the responsibility to support. Of course, the corporates need to support more, the NGOs, everybody has to come together. So that is a long-term process. Fans, we need to watch more, just not cricket, follow, encourage our athletes, watch it all throughout. We should know when the badminton event, Super 1000 series is going on. BWF in YouTube streams it live. So the channels, Indian channels need to provide, more, need to create more awareness about all sports wherever we are performing well. I'm not saying that, the sports where we are not doing well, but for example, badminton, wrestling, boxing, shooting, archery, we are winning world championships and, big events. So that should be shown, or, put into limelight much more, and fans should, watch it much more. So those things are there. But anyway, so those grassroots development federations away from politicians, the previous sports person to handle, and more optimized investment, infrastructure development, and on different levels, that would definitely bear fruit in the long run over the next few decades if India were to in the top 5 countries as a sporting nation. But even with our current talent and ability, we definitely underperformed. It was kind of disastrous. I was quite sad. Also, as I said, a lot of bad luck, and it just kind of Murphy's Law happened to us. So yeah, this was my honest review of the recently concluded Olympics. The video is already getting too long. I'm not going to deep dive into each sports. Maybe that requires another video. But yes, as I mentioned, the surface layer, we underperformed. Even with our current ability, we should have won 15 to 20 medals. There are multiple reasons to it. There could be combination of all those reasons. There could be some things which I'm missing currently. But definitely Murphy's Law, as I explained, the sports psychology, definitely the mindset has to change, all these things, and the handling of pressure and nerves. And then for the long-term growth of, because we don't have dearth of talent. There are 1.4 billion people, and, the right investment, infrastructure, the optimized, all those things are needed to be done. And politics should get away from sports as soon as possible regarding that. So anyway, so that is for the long-term goals. If we are to win, let's say 50 medals, 100 medals one day in Olympics. But even with our current players and ability, should have been 15 to 20 for sure. And people who are saying, oh, this, that, who do not follow sports a lot, and, saying negative things, they should follow sports more. That's my advice to them. And then they will know what or how or who are our athletes and why they actually underperformed this time. Some of the luck or rub of the green didn't go our way. And of course, keep supporting our athletes, encouraging our athletes. Also demand accountability all across, from our top leadership to sports authority to administration to players also. Players also need to be accountable. So I totally agree with Prakash Padukone and all the great sports persons who are giving, their opinion. So yeah, as a fan, this is my honest review and opinion of the recently concluded Olympics. If you like my video, do like it, share it, subscribe my channel, and support also by commenting. Thanks a lot.